Hello students, so we are continuing with the structure chapter, and today also we shall see a on program to input employees data by area of structure. So today's program is about area of structure. So what is this area of structure? As we have already seen that starting from the first structure program, we have already used arrays in the structure members, right? But here we are only using the character array in the members. We have not used the array for a structure variable, right? To declare a structure variable, we have not seen the usage of array. So we shall see that in this program, right? So this topic is from the reduced syllabus, but however, you have to pay attention on this because this is also very much important, right? So as usual, we have three header files, that is iostream, string.h, and studio.h. So this stdio is used for the gets function. String.h is we use it for the flush, right? So as you can see here, we have similar to the previous programs. We are using the same employee structure. This is the structure tag, which is the user defined data type, and these are the members. You can see that the character arrays employee name and employee designation. This is emb name, that means the length of the maximum length of the employee name would be 20 characters, and employee designation maximum length would be 15 characters, right? This does not mean that emb name 20 does not mean that it will create 20, it will store 20 employee name. This represents only one employee name, but the maximum length of the name should be 20 characters. All right. Now if we're using this array 20 with suppose like salary, so that would represent a different meaning. In the case of that, it would mean the salary of 20 employees, right? Now as you can see here, within the closing braces and the semicolon, no structure variable is declared, so it is possible, right? So now also you can observe that the main function is written below that. So in the previous program, if you see the previous program here, the structure is declared inside the main function, and the structure variables are declared in the structure definition itself, right? So but here you can see that the structure is declared or defined outside of the main function, and the structure variables is actually declared inside the main function. So here you have the variable int I declared, and this employee emb the character array emb20, this declares the local structure variable. Local structure variable, as in this, it is this variable is accessible within this main function body. So here to declare the structure variable in the main function, that is when it is not declared inside the structure definition, then we have to use the structure name. All right. So this is the structure tag. Okay, this is structure tag, and so this is structure tag, and this is the structure variable. So here you can see that we are using array to declare a structure variable. As you can see the difference between here you are just simply declaring a structure variable emb1 emb2 without using array. But in the case of this, you are declaring the structure variable as a area of structure. All right. So here to declare a structure variable, you are using an array. So in the case of this emb20, this means that it can declare 20 employees details. That means 20 employees code, 20 employees name, 20 employees designation, 20 employees salary. But it depends on the user how many employees details they want to access. Maybe as per the program, it may want to access only 5. As I've mentioned here in the for loop, the test condition is I is less than equal to 5, which means that it will accept only 5 employees information and display only 5 employees information. The maximum is 20. Okay, so the advantage of using an array to declare a structure variable is, if you see in this program, you have only two structure variables, which means that it will display only 2 employees details, right? But in the case of this, just by declaring the structure variable as an array, so you can by this line of code itself, you can declare, or you can input 20 employees details and display 20 employees details. So when so you can see that in this small program, all right, just in this source code itself, 20 employees details can be entered. So if it is possible that you can also declare up to 100,000 and so on, right? So if you were to declare a structure variable like this for 20 employees, then you have to write emb1, emb2, emb3, emb4 till emb20. That means 20 structure variables has to be declared here, so which will increase the length of the program and also the complexity. But just by using the structure array, you can see that within this short line of code, it tells the compiler, okay, create the structure array elements, all right, emb1, emb2, emb3 till emb20, like that. Now why we're using this stack is because when you declare a variable, you have to specify what type of data that variable will store, right? So in the case of this employee, which is structure tag, this is actually a user defined data type. Okay, this is similar to declaring like this character emb20. This tells that the compiler that, okay, this array emb is of character type. That means it will store character values, right? So similarly, this employee is also a data type similar to this character char, right? But only thing is that this data type is user defined, so user created that data type. If you want to, instead of employee, you can also write employ, right? So that is a user defined data type, right? So that's why you are using this employee tag here. So also it tells the compiler that this emb, this array, alright, this array belongs to the structure variable employee, right? Now the next step is to enter the employee information. So here you can see that since we're using array, as you know that in the case of an array, we use a for loop, so that automatically the data will be entered without repeating this source code again and again. So within this for loop, this source code will be entered. So the same sequence, only thing is that you will see that here, instead of seeing emb1.emb code like here, emb1.emb code, 1 is replaced by embi. So here I starts with 1, so which represents emb1. That means employee number 1, right? So the first employee details will be stored in here. In the previous video, I've explained the use of the flush standard in, right? The flush. So since the gets function, it reads from the input buffer and then till a new line is encountered. So the reason why we're using this flush is because of this gets function. So the flush, what it does, it clears the input buffer for the next input value, right? So since this data, since emb1.emb code, that data value will be stored in the buffer, so before the gets function, so what will happen is that if you don't use this flush here, all right, the gets function will copy that employee code in the place of this emb name, and till a new line is encountered. So the new line is encountered here under employees designation, so it will skip this part. So that's why here we use this flush std in here, all right. Similarly here also we use that. So here everywhere emb1 is replaced by this array index embi. So automatically this will keep on changing as long as the I keeps on increasing and the test condition holds true. When I becomes 2, EMB I will change to EMB2. Right. So you can see that in this, just using the for loop, we don't need to repeat this source code again and again. Like in the previous program, for EMB1 we had to repeat we had to write down this source code. For EMB2 again we had to write down the same source code. So like EMB2 2.emb code. Again, if we declare another EMB3, then again we have to copy this and we have to write down. So it would not be possible that if we have to declare 100 employees, EMB 1 2 3 4 5 like that till 100, then you just imagine the amount of coding you have to write down if you don't use the array, right? So that means this source code will be repeated, this particular source code will be repeated 100 times, EMB1 EMB2 EMB3 EMB 100.emb code, right? Which is practically not applicable, right? So instead of that, we can write here 100, right? And then this source code will be entered 100 times, right? So similarly, to output the value, again we use the for loop, right? So no need to repeat the output stream also again and again. So here also, instead of 1 we use I, right? So there is a major advantage when we use this area of structure in the case of a typical structure declaration in the structure declaration. Okay, so here the difference is, here the structure variables are simply declared. All right, here you can see that the structure variables are declared inside the main function outside of the structure definition. All right, so now let's run in this program and we shall see. So now enter the employee code. Okay, we enter 100, right? Enter the employee name, so we write Smith. Then designation, suppose like manager, and then salary, suppose like okay, 40,000. Then employee code 101. Okay, John. So assistant manager. All right, and then say like 35,000. Again 103, or it's 102. Then say okay, Maria. Then designation, suppose like cashier. Salary 3,000. Okay, suppose like 15,000. Then Robert. Okay, designation cashier, and sales. Okay, so here we have forgotten to use the flush in here. All right, so that's why this is they're getting repeated. All right, so anyway, let's continue. So here you can see that you are getting the proper information, except in one, I think we have forgotten to use the flush properly. Okay, so here this must be omitted. All right, so likewise type out this program. Okay, see the output that you're getting. Okay, and then you see that using the area of structure is much better, okay, than using a normal structure variable declaration. All right.